So you want to learn guitar? You want to learn it fast? You want to learn worship songs? Great, because you are in the right place. Stay tuned. Okay guys, this is going to be the first lesson for you on my YouTube channel. I've been asked several times over the last several years to give acoustic guitar lessons, and I've given some. For the sake of time, I have not been able to do it. So instead of giving one person several guitar lessons, I figure I would give one lesson to several people and just keep going. So the first lesson I'm going to give you is I'm going to go over the acoustic guitar and let you know certain details about the guitar that you will need to know later on as you play guitar. So the first thing I'm going to say is this right here is called a neck. Pretty obvious, you already know this, but if you see these squares in a guitar neck, these are called frets. This is a first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, sixth fret, seventh fret, and so on. And so as you play guitar chords or tablature or anything like that, you will need to know what frets are. And so then it comes scales later on as you advance. The first string is considered the very bottom string. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, starting from the bottom. This high string on the very bottom is called an E string. E. Okay? This second string from the bottom is a B string. The third string from the bottom is a G string. The fourth string from the bottom going up is a D string. The fifth string from the bottom, which would be your second string from the top, is called an A string. And the very, very top string is a low E. So if you notice, the top string and the bottom string, which are both E's, it's like a harmonic, okay? So you got the low string E and a high string E on the bottom, okay? So how do you remember the strings? Several different ways. Many people have different sayings. The way I do it is I start from the top, the sixth string, and I just name them going down. E for Eddie, A, 8, Dynamite for D, Goodbye, which is the G, and then the B, Eddie on the bottom. So basically it's going to go Eddie for the top sixth string, E, 8 for the fifth string, Dynamite for the fifth string, G for good, B for bye, E for Eddie on the very bottom. Eddie, 8, Dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. Okay? So now that we have the strings down, I will go over a super, super easy way of, and I'm just going to probably dive in right now on just a few chords. Super easy chords. And then I'll get into worship songs. Okay, so the first thing is you need to also know is on your fingers, this is considered finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. Okay, and then you have your thumb. So take your index finger, finger 1, and you would put it counting the second fret, 1, 2, second fret down. So the second square, you're going to put this index finger, number 1, on the second string down, which is going to be your fifth string, which is A string, okay? You following me? Right there. Second string from the top in that second fret box. Straight down, okay? You can take your middle finger, as you hold that finger down, you can take your middle finger and you're going to stick it in the third fret, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. As you keep this one finger down on the second string from the top, which is going to be your fifth string, one down from the top, you take your middle finger, you're going to put it on the very top string, which is going to be your low E, your sixth string, in the third fret. So you have your second fret, fifth string, first finger, and then your middle finger, third fret, the very top sixth string on your middle finger. Okay? And so then you're going to take your ring finger, which is your third finger, in the same fret that you have your middle finger on, the third one down, you're going to just keep these two there, and you're going to put this on the very bottom first string right there. So it should look like this, if you can see. You see that? See how I'm doing that? Top finger right there, index finger on the bottom, and this is your G string. Okay? So most of you guys that know worship songs, you probably hear that song, I search the world. You hear that song and you think of this G chord. It's a dominant chord in the beginning of that song. So that's your G chord. So what I like to do is I like to modify my G chord. And what I do is my ring finger that I've told you to put on the very first string on the 3rd fret on the very bottom like this, I move it up just one to the 2nd string, right there on the 3rd fret. Looks like this, if you see. Okay? And then I put my pinky right underneath, right there, underneath it on the 3rd fret. And then you get this G chord. Just real deep, nice depth to it, real full. I love the sound. So, that's a G chord right there. To make it super easy, and most worship songs are so easy to play because they use the same chords, and you can capo and change the actual key of the song. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these 2 fingers right here. I'm gonna leave these there and plant them right there and just lock them in. I'm not gonna move them off that 5th and 6th string right there on the 3rd fret, the 3rd box on the very bottom. I'm gonna leave them. You can hear it on the bottom. I'm gonna move my top fingers off. I'm gonna lift them up, and I'm just gonna go down 1 string on the top. So this middle finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, will just move down 1. See that? Super easy. Just moves down 1 like that. Okay? And then where this one was on the same string, but on the 2nd fret before, it's gonna move down 2. It's just gonna move down 1 string, just like the middle finger did. So I'm gonna do real close. It's right here in the top 2, see? And then I'm gonna move down just 1, just like that. See the move? Just like that. While I keep these fingers down, obviously. So this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a G chord that sounds like this. And then you move these 2 down, and you get a C, add 9. A lot of people just use it as a C chord in songs. So you can play simple songs with these 2 chords. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you 2 more chords in this lesson. You got the G chord down, and as you practice and practice and practice and keep practicing, you'll get better and better at it. Make sure your fingers are bent slightly where they're not touching other strings, because if they do, you'll get this sound. You'll hear that and you'll know that you're touching other strings. You have to just work on bending your finger. Bending your fingers, okay? See, okay, so as you keep those 2 fingers still planted, you're just pivoting, okay? You're pivoting from the G, C, and then pivoting down, just like this, okay? So what I want you to do is keep these 2, the ring finger, the pinky down, and I want you to take this pointer finger and put it on the 4th string, okay? Which is gonna be, the 3rd string, which is gonna be 3 up on the 2nd fret from the bottom. So you got the E, B, G. So you're gonna take your ring finger and you're gonna count up 3 strings on this 2nd fret, 1, 2, 3, which is the G string. And then you're gonna take your middle finger and stick it right underneath it on the same fret on the 1st string, which is gonna be the high E. And then you just lift your pinky up. You're gonna go G, move it down 2, and you're gonna play strings 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as you pivot and keep those 2 down, you're gonna drop your finger on that G string, which is the 3rd string from the bottom. Put your middle finger on the very bottom string on that 2nd fret like this, and it'll look like this. See? Boom. Right there. And then right there. That is your D chord. Just like that. And so basically what you're going to find is you're going to find a song that sounds like this. G, C, add 9. Now, a lot of you guys can hear a lot of the music through that, like these chords, you've heard them in songs. And then the 4th chord that I'm going to throw out there, is going to be your E minor, and this is super easy. If you're pivoting off those two like I showed you, it's super easy, because if you go from that G like this, I told you, bring these down two, and then go to that D, keep those two planted right there, lift these two up, and essentially what you're going to do is you're going to put your index finger on the 5th string, which is going to be the A string, the second one on the top, in the 2nd fret. This is the 2nd fret, 1, 2, 1 string down, which is your A string, and you're going to take your middle finger and you're going to put it right directly underneath it in the same fret. You see how I have that? They're right there together in the same fret. This is your E minor. You can hear the minor in it. It's kind of dark, a lot darker chord. So you can pivot off those two that's down and playing it, and it just sounds like this. Okay? So this is the songs that you can get with this. Okay, and now that I showed you those 4 chords. All right, so now that you've learned your G chord, your C add 9 or C chord, this is an actual C chord, but I use a C add 9, which most worship songs are in a C add 9, D chord, E minor. Okay? Stay tuned for the next lesson.